Mic check. Devoted to Jamesy boy. Boygenius. We got a 6-track debut EP ahead of us today, from what I'm aware, simply entitled Boygenius. Am I aware of this band? It was recommended on the Patreon. I've not listened to this band. Am I aware of them? I'm aware of the name, okay? I'm expecting quirky, youthful, indie pop music. Like Girl in Red. I like Beach Bunny. I like that frequency, that feminine energy driven social commentary and emotive portrayal. Okay, I've never listened to them. Am I looking forward to listening to them? Yeah, actually, because if you've joined me on this channel, you know, as of recent, you would know that I don't mind that style of music. I'm quite a big fan of the niche genre twee pop, all right, which shares a lot in common with acts such as this, a lot in common with power pop, a lot in common with acts like the Smiths, which oddly, indirectly, you know, shares a component of these acts, you know, the poetic and indie-esque outsider value. Now, I could be completely wrong with what I've just said. This band could sound like Napalm Death. There's only one way to find out. This first song is entitled Bite the Hand. Yes, let's go.
Too far away, I can't see you. The light is in my face.
1.8 million views.
I wouldn't if I could.
Someone says, thank you, IKEA, for introducing me to this song. Okay. Okay. Debut EP. 1.8 million views on the first track. Synced to IKEA. I'm going to do some background check. Give me one moment. Okay, so I just had a little dig. To put it plain and simple, I googled Boygenius industry plan. Alright, if you've never heard that term before, it's something you should clue yourself up on. Being around musicians my entire life, I know when something's too good to be true. Now, I've not come across too much information other than the fact, well, I came across another band. Anybody heard of the Last Dinner Party? People were putting them two and two, just like a Last Dinner Party industry plants like Boygenius and blah blah. But this band is a supergroup per se, including someone I do know, Phoebe Bridgers. Why do I know her? Because of branding. I quite simply know her because around the time I seen her getting posted, she wore like a skeleton outfit, and that's as much as I know. So we'll leave that there. But between you and me, people, if your first EP has like 1.8 million views and like being synced to big corporate Goliaths like IKEA, it, as a consumer, it's always too good to be true. It doesn't work like that for your average independent artist, honestly. It does not. It does not. I've been there, done that, come up with a lot of people, known a lot of people who have picked up and signed to mainstream labels and are blowing up festivals to this day, but, you know, I'm going to leave that one there. That's open for discussion. That's open for discussion.
I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you.
Did Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus and Julian Baker, how much momentum were they establishing prior to this act when they came together? Or did they come from this act? Because this was 5 years ago. Somebody want to fill me in? Can you fill me in? Beggars Group Digital. 2018 Matador Records. One moment. Just had a little dig at Matador Records. It's a label I'm somewhat familiar with. I did have a moment in my life where I sort of dug deep into these labels, 4AD and Beggars Group and so forth. Yeah, they're listed as independent, so this album is independent. Don't get me wrong, it is a large label. You know, this isn't a label to be laughed at. But I like bands like this, these indie adjacent bands where it gives food for thought. Because if we were listening to flipping Guns N' Roses, it's like, all right, they're mainstream and they got signed and they've signed the contract and this and that. But acts that are like on their debut EP, for me, not only as a musician but as a fan of the internal works, and there's a bit of a conspiracy theorist, you know, a bit of a critical thinker, I like to sort of piece up an idea of what is going on behind the scenes, right? It is what it is.
Here's the best part. Distilled for you. Fuck you want what I can't give to you.
6 publishers credited here.
While my hands are tied, I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you how you want me to. Who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? What do you want to say? What do you think will change? Maybe I'm afraid of you. Maybe I'm afraid of you. Like the hand that feeds me. Like the hand that feeds me. Like the hand that needs me. Like the hand that needs me. Like the hand. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you. I can't love you. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you. I can't love you. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you. I can't love you. I can't love you how you want me to. I can't love you how you want me to.
Ethereal, very good sound, very good production.
I can't love you how you want me to.
Well spaced out, well produced, great development and build, good writing. Let's have a look at the credits here once again. We've got associated performer and producer Julian Baker, Lucy Dacus, Phoebe Bridges, engineers Joseph Lodge, composer Julian Baker, Lucy Dacus and Phoebe Bridges. Alright, composer doesn't necessarily mean songwriter, but I assume that's what it implies. I've got no doubt that they've written the songs, by the way, because, you know, I'm going to cast judgment. These dudes look like they can write a decent song. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes you see an artist and you see the persona and the overcompensation of the glitz and glamour, and you're just like, you don't even write that material. That's not you. You're just an image. But this band seems, you know, the type to compose and put together a piece. So we've got Me and My Dog coming up next, yeah? See you there.